Islay is a Hebridean island just off Scotland's west coast. Although it looks and feels a world away, Islay is surprisingly accessible to the average traveler. Its little airport services daily flights to and from Glasgow, which makes getting there fast and easy. But if you're up for some epic scenery, I'd recommend taking a bus ride through the Highlands, from Glasgow to Kennaicraig, then catching a ferry from Kennaicraig to Islay. It's simple to tack on to any larger Eurotrip itinerary, and makes for a stellar weekend away, especially with all the speedy trains and cheap flights from London to Glasgow.
And that's the letter I got from when I did Forrest Gump. That's the tweed I designed and made for Prince Edward. That was I made the blue and the red fabric for the film Spiderwick Chronicles.
This is Gordon. He runs the Islay Woolen Mill.
It was built in 1883 by that guy on the wall there.
Using 2 antique Victorian looms, Gordon designs and produces some of the world's finest woven fabrics. Many end up on high fashion runways and on the sets of Hollywood blockbusters. Tom Hanks' tweed suit in Forrest Gump, Mel Gibson's tartan in Braveheart, all Gordon. Many creative spirits are drawn to the Hebrides. There's something soul-stirring about this region, with plenty of peace and solitude. George Orwell, for example, holed up in a cottage a 5-minute ferry ride away on the neighboring Isle of Jura, where he wrote his famous novel, 1984. If you're searching for inspiration, or a place to focus on your next project, this is a pretty perfect place to hunker down.
Try it, just try it, and if it doesn't work, well, you've learned something.
One of the best reasons to visit Islay is to leave the bustling world behind and immerse yourself in nature. Crowds here generally come in the form of whales, playful dolphins, and harmless basking sharks, skittish, sunbathing seals, and dozens of rare bird species. Wild deer and golden eagles live here too. With vast swaths of rugged, windswept wilderness, so much of Islay feels almost primordial. Whether you're hiking, kayaking, surfing, or just quietly sitting in your own serene nook of the island, a little time on Islay really recharges your internal batteries, leaving you feeling calm, centered, and reconnected to the world around you. Islay is famous for one thing in particular: whiskey. Peated whiskey, imbued with a delicious, smoky flavor by drying malted barley over a peat-heated fire. It tastes like all the comforts of a campfire in a smooth glass of scotch. In fact, Islay is home to 8 distilleries and counting, most of which offer tours and tastings. Lafroig, Lagavulin, and Ardbeg are 3 of the most widely known, and are conveniently connected by a paved cycling footpath called the 3 Distilleries Walk. The trail begins in the little town of Port Ellen and makes for a great day out, especially if you're keen to have a few wee drams. Now, while most of the distilleries on the island rightfully pride themselves on legacy and tradition, Bruichladdich is one distillery doing things differently. From producing the island's only unpeated single malt, to creating the most heavily peated whiskey on the planet, Bruichladdic's growing team respects the past, but doesn't live in its shadow. This is exemplified in one of their most recent projects, The Botanist, Islay's only gin. Concocted in a salvaged old whiskey still, affectionately called Ugly Betty, 22 different botanicals are infused into the brew. All of these are hand-foraged on Islay, highlighting the vital importance of craft in an age of mass production, while distilling a distinct sense of Islay identity into each small batch. Islay is an adventurer's paradise. Scotland's wild camping laws mean you can pitch a tent just about anywhere, providing you respect the Scottish Outdoor Access Code, and the remoteness of the Hebrides means you don't need to venture far to feel far away. Renting a bike is a great way to explore the island and discover Islay's plethora of historic sites. The Kildalton Cross and Dunnyvaig Castle are 2 particularly fascinating standouts. Plus, the ferries between the Hebrides make them a sweet place for a road trip throughout the islands and beyond. So much of Scotland offers incredible potential for adventure, most of which still feels offbeat and untapped. Those who scratch the surface and dig deep will definitely be rewarded. Either way, Islay should be ranked among the top of every traveler's bucket list.